Oh girl, you won't believe what happened this week. Seriously, Jikook isn't even trying to hide anymore. Let me tell you quickly because it's too much. First, J-Hope posted a picture of the two of them on the plane, and it caused a huge scandal. Some toxic fans even started a hashtag to get him to delete it. Second, Jungkook blurted out that Jimin is sexy, even posting a picture with his shirt lifted and saying that he always chooses Jimin. I mean, he's not even trying to hide it anymore. Third, things got intense in Tokyo. Jungkook reached out, looking for Jimin, and the looks they exchanged were so intense they left you trembling. And on top of that, Jungkook ended up posting a strange message on Instagram that no one quite understood. Stick around, and I'll explain everything. J-Hope is the person who helps us see what's going on between Jimin and Jungkook the most, because he's always there, very close to them, capturing everything they do behind the scenes. He's in charge of sharing the moments when Jikook interacts, and he does it with such joyful energy that we all love. By always being present, J-Hope allows us to see things we wouldn't otherwise know, always encouraging their interactions and reacting with that special emotion that shows how much he loves seeing Jikook together. What we love most is that J-Hope manages to capture these moments without anyone telling him to, and ends up giving us the couple's most special moments. He's there, attentive to every detail, watching how Jimin and Jungkook treat each other and spend time together, and by sharing it, he makes us feel like we're witnessing something unique. For all of us, J-Hope is like the eternal support of this duo, because without his help we wouldn't be able to enjoy seeing Jimin and Jungkook sharing their time and space so closely. When we watch the videos J-Hope shares, it becomes very clear that he's the main witness to this relationship. His reactions and his constant attempts to be near them confirm that Jimin and Jungkook have a connection that everyone notices. J-Hope not only accompanies them but also celebrates seeing them together, and that's why he'll always be the #1 ally for those of us who love watching Jikook, because thanks to him we can see how Jimin and Jungkook choose each other to share their daily lives. This week has been incredibly special because Jimin and Jungkook have shown us their feelings in a way they can no longer hide. It all started when we saw Jimin sleeping snuggled up to Jungkook during the flight, a moment where their faces were so close that their trust was evident. It's clear that when they're resting, they always seek each other out, demonstrating that for Jimin and Jungkook, being together is the most important thing at any point during their trip. In addition to that moment, Jungkook told the world that Jimin is sexy, something he stated with complete certainty and without a second thought. As if that weren't enough, Jungkook decided to post a photo of the two of them lifting their shirts, showing the complicity they share as a couple. These actions by Jungkook are very direct signals to all of us because they show that he has no problem expressing his feelings for Jimin, confirming that their relationship is something he values and displays with great conviction. The most beautiful thing about everything that happened this week is seeing how Jimin and Jungkook continue to find in each other the place they want to be, no matter what. Every action, from sleeping cuddled up together to Jungkook's words always choosing Jimin, confirms that their bond is constant and real. They show us with their actions that, regardless of the situation, their priority is being together, and that's why it's so clear to us that Jimin and Jungkook have formed a bond that they themselves cherish and defend at all times. It turns out that after J-Hope shared that story featuring Jimin and Jungkook, some people tried to get him to delete it using a hashtag on social media. It's important to understand that this movement is very small and doesn't represent the opinion of the vast majority of fans. Most of us received the photo with great joy because seeing Jimin and Jungkook together is always something positive and special for those of us who closely follow their story. What we're seeing on social media is many armies defending Jimin and Jungkook's right to show their closeness, remembering that these are precisely the moments that make us happy. While a group is trying to question the post, the general response has been one of total support for J-Hope for sharing something so natural. It's clear that for those of us who truly value the Jikook connection, seeing these images is a cause for celebration and not something to be hidden or deleted. This attempt to create a trend doesn't change the reality of what we see: two people who share a very close relationship and who feel comfortable being together. Defending Jikook in these situations is crucial, because our happiness lies precisely in seeing these gestures of affection. We will continue to support every interaction that allows us to see Jimin and Jungkook happy, making it clear that their bond is something we value and want to continue seeing. Jungkook gave us a hilarious moment this week when he posted an Instagram story showing off his food. The caption, "Please stop," made us all laugh because he wrote it so funny, as if he were begging himself to stop eating because he couldn't resist how delicious everything was. It was a clever way to share his day-to-day life and connect with us through something as everyday as enjoying a good meal. To add the perfect finishing touch, Jungkook chose the song Delicious, Really Delicious by Silver Silver, which perfectly complemented what he was showing. It was clear that our magne was having a great time and enjoying every bite to the fullest. It's wonderful to see Jungkook sharing these personal details with us, showing himself as he truly is and allowing us to share in his good mood and personal tastes. We love these kinds of updates from Jungkook because they bring us much closer to his personality off stage. Seeing him so relaxed, joking about his food and enjoying a moment to himself, makes us feel like we're part of his inner circle. Without a doubt, Jungkook always knows how to make us smile and how to make us feel included as we watch him enjoy everything he does every day. That soundcheck in Tokyo quickly became one of our most beautiful and talked about memories of Jikook. From the very first moment, we could see what it truly means to seek connection with one another in a space where, despite being surrounded by people, they seemed completely in their own world. It was impressive to see how, without needing to say a single word or give any instructions, Jungkook simply extended his hand naturally for Jimin to immediately understand that he wanted to touch him. That gesture was a very clear sign of the absolute trust they have in each other, showing that there is fluid communication between them where a simple movement of hands is enough for both of them to know exactly what to do and how to seek that physical contact that characterizes them so much. Throughout that rehearsal, Jimin and Jungkook gazed at each other in a way that only couples do, without taking their eyes off one another for a second, as if they were in the middle of a private conversation that no one else could overhear. We saw Jimin walk straight up to greet Jungkook, and after finishing singing, they stared at each other with an intensity that caught the attention of everyone watching. That moment was so intimate and direct that, seeing the way they leaned towards each other, we all thought something more was about to happen, because when Jikook are this close, anything can happen, and the closeness they share is undeniable. Furthermore, it's very important to emphasize that these kinds of interactions don't happen by chance, but rather reflect a dynamic they've built over time. When we see Jimin lean towards Jungkook or how Jungkook immediately responds to his presence with a fixed gaze, we're seeing the result of a mutual choice they reinforce whenever they can. For those of us who follow Jikook closely, this moment in Tokyo remains one of the clearest examples of their connection. It's confirmation that, regardless of the circumstances, the travels, or the lighting, they always find a way to reconnect. To conclude this moment, we can say that these actions are what define their story before our eyes. Every time Jungkook extends his hand or Jimin approaches to greet him, they're sending a direct message about who their priority is. It's clear that, after so much time, they've solidified a bond where support and affection are the core of their daily lives. That's why, witnessing the events of that soundcheck in Tokyo, it's impossible not to feel moved, as they demonstrate time and again that their relationship is a safe haven they both choose to be, confirming that their connection is the driving force that keeps them together no matter where they are. It's truly moving to see the deep affection people have for Jungkook, proving that his impact extends far beyond his music. A prime example of this is what Puspos revealed. He worked closely with Jungkook as a dancer throughout the golden era and remains a close friend of our magne. Brian confessed that he was so inspired by the song Into the Sun that he simply couldn't stop listening to it, which motivated him to quickly create his own choreography to express what the song made him feel. Sharing this, Brian enthusiastically commented, "Into the sun. I can't stop singing this song, so I decided to make a really quick choreography, hahaha." These kinds of details show us that Jungkook's influence is genuine and that those who work with him are deeply affected by his talent and personality. Seeing a professional like Puspos dedicate time to creating something based on Jungkook's music confirms that the work done during the golden era left a lasting mark. It's incredibly rewarding to see that even after a considerable amount of time has passed since those projects, the people who were part of that team continue to show unwavering admiration for Jungkook. This level of loyalty and affection is rare in the industry, but it happens constantly with Jungkook because he connects deeply with those around him. This recognition isn't just professional, it reflects the respect and affection he has earned through his dedication and the genuine human qualities he always demonstrates. When we analyze these facts, we realize that Jungkook is someone who leaves a positive mark wherever he goes. Whether with his fellow dancers or his close friends, his personality inspires others to create and continue supporting him, even if they are no longer working together directly. Seeing that a song like Into the Sun continues to generate such a positive response from talented artists is a clear example of why his career continues to grow and why his music continues to resonate so strongly everywhere. In conclusion, this gesture from Puspos is a very clear sign of the kind of person Jungkook is and the environment of respect he cultivates. For those of us who follow his career, it's a source of pride to see how his work is valued and how his music continues to be a constant source of inspiration for other artists. Jungkook has managed to create a circle of genuine admiration that we, as fans, celebrate when we see his talent recognized and celebrated by those who know him best and have shared time with him on stage. There are people who, when they're together, create a presence that needs no explanation because it simply feels good to see them in the same space. That's exactly what happens when we observe Jimin and Jungkook. There's a quiet but completely undeniable harmony in the way they interact. It's not something they need to demonstrate in front of the cameras, but rather a connection that is perceived subtly and naturally, yet at the same time feels profoundly real. It's that kind of connection that, when it appears before us, makes us understand that their closeness has always been there, functioning as an axis that keeps them connected at all times. It seems that the fact that Jimin and Jungkook share so many moments isn't a coincidence, but a balance that seems to have been destined to exist since their paths crossed. Their synergy isn't something that needs to be loud or flashy to be noticed. On the contrary, it's an energy that is felt much more than it can be heard or said. They have their own unique way of interacting, where everything fits together perfectly, allowing their relationship to be a source of stability and peace amidst the daily hustle and bustle of their professional lives. When we observe them, we realize they possess their own rhythm, evident in the smallest details. A quick glance, a sudden smile, or even a brief silence shared between them all seem to have their own logic, fully understood only by them. It's fascinating how, in those moments of calm, an atmosphere is created where the rest of the world seems to fade into the background, making it clear that their primary attention is focused exclusively on each other, regardless of what's happening around them. It's important to note that everything we see in their interaction flows with complete naturalness, without anything being staged or out of place. They move on the same plane with an absolute ease that is obvious to anyone who observes them closely. This ease in their daily interactions allows us to confirm, once again, that their bond is genuine and that they both feel deeply secure when they are together, letting their body language speak volumes about the strength of their relationship. Ultimately, this balance that Jimin and Jungkook exude is what reinforces our admiration for them as a couple. Seeing them interact in this way confirms that they have built a space where they can both be themselves, finding in each other the tranquility they constantly seek. It is this kind of harmony, so heartfelt, so natural, and so constant, that allows us to understand why their connection is so special and why, for all of us who follow Jikook, seeing them together is the clearest proof that they have built something unique that endures through any situation.